Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at which super attacks you can currently farm in Dbz Dokkan Battle, along with also taking a look at which Elder Kais you can currently get in Dbz Dokkan Battle. So honestly speaking, right now is a bit of a barren time for Dokkan, and what better use of your time and stamina than catching some super attack levels for some units that you need. The first event, and the reason I'm pointing this one out first, is because it drops the chocolate currency, and these chocolates can be exchanged for Elder Kais, 4 of them. They drop from stage 5, but they can also be used to obtain SSR Goten Kid, SSR Goku Angel, and SSR Gohan Teen, which are some pretty useful units that you can use to raise the super attack of other units with the same name. So if you go to the Bubba exchange shop from this event, you'll be able to exchange these chocolates. It's very important to understand as well that you're going to want to obviously maximize the team boost for the event so that you can get the most benefit. So pretty straightforward stuff. The chocolates themselves are relatively, just a drop rate thing, and you get 1 for 1. So barring the Elder Kais, you get 1 for 1. In terms of the Elder Kais, you will need, I believe it is 70 in total to get all the Elder Kais, and there's 4 of them, so it's a decent chunk. 4 Elder Kais is actually quite a nice little balance, so it's a pretty nice little pickup there. Just wanted to point that event out first because obviously it is pretty important. Now the units you can raise with them are also pretty straightforward. In terms of Gohan, it's mainly Gohan Teens, the most notable obviously being the Tech Gohan Teen. Ultimate Gohans etc. won't work, but there's quite a few Gohan Teens that you can raise. Then of course we also have the Goten. There's actually not that many notable Goten Kids that aren't free to play, so this one's not as useful. And then we have Goku, of course, but again, Goku Angel, not the most common unit, at least not base form Goku Angel, so again, not a huge incentive there. Now in terms of all of the other events that you can farm super attacks from currently in Dbz Dokkan Battle Global, beyond the most fearsome Martian event, we have the original first Martian event from the 5th anniversary, I believe, no, the 5th worldwide celebration, and that drops 3 units. That drops Hercule, it drops Youth, and it drops a base form Goku. Now base form Goku is a unit that's just always pretty useful. There's a crap ton of Gokus that you can raise, so always useful. Go look at your Gokus and make sure there's no base forms you're missing. Unfortunately cannot be used for anyone super useful yet, which is a shame. And Hercule, there's quite a few. You can use him to help raise the SA of the Tech Friend Summon Hercule. You can also use him for the Int Hercule, which a lot of people quite like. So there is some value there, of course, if you are interested. So yeah, beyond that, of course, Goku. Goku, there's so many base forms that really it's just difficult to kind of narrow them down and give you a full list, but basically do a whole sweep of your box. If there's any unit that is a base form Goku or starts as a base form Goku, raise their SA using that Goku. And there's a couple Gokus from a couple events, so I'm not going to rehash that. And the same rule applies for Vegeta. I'm not going to rehash Vegetas because it's the same thing. There's so many of them. If you see a Vegeta or a Goku that you can obviously pull, then yeah, go for it. There's also another Gohan Teen from the Turbulent World Tournament. You can use that one as well instead of the one for chocolates. It's probably a bit easier to access, all things considered. The Yamu and Spopovich is just not inherently useful. Then we have Fight Against Despair, or Hope Fight Against Despair, and this is obviously the Future Trunks event. There's actually quite a few units that are farmable from there. I'm going to avoid the Androids events because Android 14 and 15 don't have any summonable units, alongside as well the Goku and Vegeta from the Android events are obviously as useful as the other Goku and Vegeta. So yeah, pretty straightforward. When you Dokkan Awaken them, they become Goku Gohan and Vegeta Trunks, so they're not as useful. Now there's 4 units you can farm from the Hope Fight Against Despair event. These are Trunks Super Saiyan Teen Future, which has quite a few useful applications, of course. You can imagine there's quite a few Future or Trunks Super Saiyan Future Teen, Trunks Future Teen Trunks. You just have to be careful that there's not the teen marker. There has to be there's not a future marker, there has to be a teen marker, and vice versa. Then you have Future Gohan. Future Gohan, obviously, you can have two forms, his base form from the event and his Super Saiyan form if you Dokkan Awaken them. The Super Saiyan 1 is useful for the physical Gohan I just showed you, but the base form is good for the future Gohan as well. So, pretty straightforward, if I remember correctly. Now, there are two more units you can use, and that is the Android 17 and 18 Future. So there's Android 17 Future, pretty good free-to-play units. I've used them quite extensively actually, but you can use him for any Android 17 Future, which unfortunately is only one, and same with Android 18. They are the only one. The Psy Android 17 Future and the AGL Android 18 Future. Beyond that, there's not really too much else to openly farm in terms of the temporary events. There's a lot of units, but a lot of them share the same name. Like I think 4 events right now drop Gokus, and 4 events right now drop, or 2 drop Vegetas, and 2 drop Gohan Teens. So there's not a lot of diversity. Supreme Kai, you can raise the In Supreme Kai with him as well, so that's some decent coverage there. And there's even a West Kai that you can raise her essay of, the AGL West Kai. So that's also something that's a nice little bonus there. But yeah, that is basically it in terms of the temporary events. As always, I like to mention the new permanent event editions, just in case people haven't really managed to kind of sync themselves up or realize what they can farm. The only Elder Kais that are available are currently the chocolates, so if you are interested in Elder Kai farming, that's really as good as it gets. The 4 from the chocolates are as good as you can do. There was the Kachan event, which is now gone, I believe, so you cannot use that. So it's a bit unfortunate. And then finally, the latest permanent event under the Dragon Ball Stories section is obviously the Ginyu Force event, which drops Piccolo. I have a video coming out about this tomorrow in the new support memory. But the Ginyu Force event, or the Fearsome Ginyu Force event, pretty straightforward. Yeah, honestly, just a pretty straightforward event. Face off with the Fearsome Ginyu Force, very cool. And yeah, it drops a SSR Piccolo, who you can use as, fodder for pretty much every Piccolo. Except for, weirdly enough, Power Awakening Piccolo. So yeah, but that's basically it. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Till then, bye.